Emma.
And I'm Drago.
And we're the regional advisors for Nanyo A
And B
for the 2012 JET year.
Before getting started with this brief introductory video about driving and cycling in Ehime, Japan, we would first like to say a quick word of welcome.
Of course, we're sorry that we can't actually be here for the orientation.
But rest assured, we are pumped to have you here.
And excited for you to join us as the newest members of the Ehime community.
Yep, so welcome.
Yeah, welcome to Ehime!
First, let's look into what it takes to get that bike of yours.
First of all, riding a bicycle in Japan is not meant to be a difficult task.
A bike gives you mobility and convenience that is particularly enjoyable in a country such as Japan, with the population density being so high.
So, which bike is right for you? There are basically 3 types of bike to choose from, and they all come down to what you are aiming to accomplish.
Yep, so figure out your goals with the bike, your surrounding living area, whether it is hilly or flat, the country, or the city, and how much you are looking to travel. And that should give you a good idea of which bike is right for you.
Let's dive right in. The 3 bikes that you might be interested in are A. The Mamachari.
By far the most popular bike in Japan, the Mamachari, or Charinko as they are sometimes called, are basically the go-to bikes for comfort and convenience. Big seats and a basket in the front or rear.
Or both.
Right. Makes for easy grocery shopping and an excellent spot for your purse or bag. A new basic model without gears will cost you about 10,000 yen, or ichiman. If you are looking for something with a few extra bells or whistles, look to pay between that and 40,000 yen. They are great for the city or country, best for flat areas, and not so good for those who like to travel.
B. The road bike.
The road bike is great for the city, and when you buy the ones with the quick release wheels, they're great for travel because you can bring them onto a train.
After you put them in a bag, of course.
Of course. Bikes need to be put into special bike bags before you can bring them onto a train. But that being said, these bikes are best for the city if they are single speed, but the geared versions are highly recommended for those living in hilly, rural areas.
C. The foldable bike.
For those of you looking for something that is incredibly easy to lug around, this one is for you. Many come with full gear systems and are ready to fold up and stow away when you travel to that town of a friend of yours.
Nice!
Yep, very nice. Great for the city and travel, not so good for steep hills.
Bike shops in your local town will carry an assortment of mamacharis, and there are several places in Matsuyama where you can pick up road bikes or the foldable kind. But don't forget to make use of the internet.
Oh, the internet! That's right! An enormous selection of bikes can be found online. It comes right to your door, oftentimes within 3 to 4 days. And the shipping is dirt cheap.
When you have decided on your bike and made the purchase,
Congrats!
you must have it registered.
Oh.
A new bike will be registered by whoever is selling it to you.
But they'll often do it right on the spot.
And if you need to register a bike on your own, it can be done at your local police station for about 500 yen.
So, you've got your bike, and it has its nice new registration tag on it, and you're feeling fine. But let's review some of the rules of the road.
Your bike must be equipped with a front and rear safety light for night riding.
You must not ride your bike while intoxicated.
A bike ought to be ridden on the left side of the road with the flow of traffic.
If it's raining, you're just going to have to rough it because it is strongly discouraged that you ride with an umbrella in hand.
And be sure not to dub any passengers, as that one is a no-go as well.
Nevertheless, do not be surprised when you see someone riding with a buddy in the back
or an umbrella in their hand,
or on the wrong side of the road.
but remember that in the end, what you do is up to you, and that the rules are there for your safety.
Exactly. So, let's review.
There are several types of bikes available in Japan. Choose one that meets both your living conditions and your goals.
Shopping online is a huge convenience.
Your bike must be registered.
You must put your bike in a bag before you take it on a train.
You must have a light on the front and back. Ride on the left side of the road, not with an umbrella. Are discouraged from riding with others on your bike, and don't ride drunk. Bingo, you're all set. So, what about cars?
Well, like bikes, whether or not you need a car will probably come down to where you work and how much you want to travel. For some of us, a bike will be all we'll ever need, but for others, not having a car could spell starvation. No, really, some people would have to learn how to fish.
Oh my!
Right?
First, let's break down the basic rules of the road in Japan. Japan has a handful of major rules that, when followed, should ensure you a problem-free driving lifestyle.
Right. There are 5 major ones. 1. Left-hand side of the road. Don't mess this up.
Right! Exactly. Number 2. Always stop on the red. Americans, no left on red.
Good point. I let that one get me a couple times. Here, you can clearly see some law-abiding citizens stopping at the red.
Number 3. Japan strictly prohibits the use of cell phones while driving. 4. Safety belts should always be worn in the front seat and the back, especially when you're on a highway.
Right. And finally, and most importantly, Japan has a zero-tolerance alcohol limit. In other words, you drink anything, you drive nothing.
Yes, drinking and driving is heavily punished and is regarded as a major embarrassment to the entire organization that you work for. But remember, it's not just the driver that holds the responsibility. The drunk driver and the passenger who knows that the driver is drunk will be punished.
Holy smokes!
Yep, it's a team effort. Don't let your friends drive after they have drunk.
Left-hand driving. Always stop on the red. No cell phones. Always wear your seatbelt. Zero limit. Those I can do.
Alright then, let's look at the cars that you will probably end up using.
There are 2 kinds of cars in Japan. White-plated cars, known as futsusha, and yellow-plated, known as K cars. White-plated cars have larger engines and are taxed heavier. Yellow-plated have smaller engines and are taxed less. For those living in the countryside, the car your school gives you to use will probably look like this. This car is to be used only for school purposes, and some schools require that you keep track of when, where, and how far you traveled.
But wait, aren't we missing something? Don't we need a Japanese driver's license to be able to drive in Japan?
Yes. In the meantime, an international driver's license will do. If you don't have one now, then you probably live in the city. For those of you who do have one and plan on staying for more than 1 year, you must get it changed over to a Japanese license. You will have to do this before your home license or international license expires, whichever one is sooner.
How difficult it is to get your license exchanged depends on where you are from. If you are from the following lucky countries, you are exempt from taking the skills test.
And those countries are?
Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, England, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Portugal, South Korea, Spain, Switzerland, and Sweden. Making the entire process much easier.
Wow.
If not, you will need to prepare yourself to take the skills test.
The entire process, including the skills test, takes place at the Driver's License Center, or the DLC for short, located about 40 minutes north of Matsuyama Station. Please be aware that because there are so few staff trained to handle the foreign license process, you will need to begin the process of changing over your license months in advance, making reservations for both the registration as well as the exam.
It has been said that the skills test is a dance. The better you can dance the dance, the more likely you will pass. But you can take the test as many times as you like.
Taking the test will cost you about 4,000 yen each time, so be sure you're ready. When you come to the Driver's License Center, come in and go to your right. On your right-hand side, you'll see all these numbered booths. Go to booth number 8. At booth number 8, they'll give you all your paperwork. Fill it out and give it back to them. It might take a few minutes, but when they're finished, you go right next door for your interview. Your interview can be done in English or Japanese. If it's done in Japanese, that's awesome for you. If it's in English, please bring someone that can speak Japanese, maybe someone at your BOE or a friend of yours. Given that you passed your interview, you go to the eye exam. It's right next door. When you finish with your eye exam and your interview, you can come right over here to the waiting room. The waiting room is for you when you need to take the course examination. There are some of you that do not have to take the course examination, and that is awesome. To use the course, you need to buy 2 sets of tickets. The first ticket is to actually use the course. That costs 700 yen. The second ticket is to have a guide, and the guide costs 500 yen. You must buy both tickets at first. Once the guide says that you are free to do it on your own, you only need one of the tickets. You buy the tickets right over here at booths 4 and 5. Right before booths 4 and 5, there's a little area to fill in how many tickets you need. And today's the motorcycle practice day, so a little bit noisy. And people recommend you buy 10 or 12 of those tickets. And once you buy them, you go right back to the waiting room, fill in the form, and wait your turn.
If you decide that you would like to purchase a car, there are plenty of options. Again, what you decide on will come down to your preference. So, how did you settle on your car, Drago?
I set out knowing that I wanted a K car.
Yeah?
K cars are cheaper, they are more fuel efficient, they cost less to maintain, insurance is cheaper, and shaken, or the mandatory car inspection, is also cheaper.
Oh, nice.
And I bought it from a dealer because you rarely find private sellers in Japan. Websites like carsoup.com in America are pretty rare, but dealers are generally very trustworthy. And because every car undergoes an inspection every 2 years, you can buy it knowing that it's been taken care of.
Peace of mind, that.
You said it, Emma. So, let's go over that one more time.
Okay, there are 2 types of cars in Japan. Yellow plates and white plates. And the yellow plates are cheaper to maintain.
Right.
You may be given a car by your BOE, and some BOEs require that you write down when, where, and why you used the car.
Yes.
People staying more than 1 year will need to get their license changed to a Japanese one. That can be done at the DLC, Driver's License Center, north of Matsuyama. But there are very few people at the center who are trained to handle the conversion, so it pays to make your reservation some weeks in advance.
To be honest though, there's so much information and so many steps, not to mention next year is quite far away. Is there some sort of English breakdown that I can reference for later?
Definitely. Try checking out the Ikata Town wiki page. There, you can find a breakdown of the whole process in detail for when you are ready.
Great!
Yeah, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact your regional advisor or your supervisor. So, that's about it then, is it?
Yep, that's about it for the most part. There are plenty of other details that you'll need to tackle when the time comes to it. But if you can just remember these basics, you should be all set.
Righty-ho then, old chaps. Off we go!
Off we go!